The big story of the day today, the government held an all-party meeting to apprise them of what's happening at the border. Following that, the defence minister will be making a statement at the Rajya Sabha 48 hours after he did the same in the Lok Sabha as well. But even as all of this was happening, the Congress sharpened its attack on the government, calling it a sellout to China. They highlighted how the Indian government had taken a loan to the tune of $750 million or 5,521 crore rupees from the Beijing-based Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, which I'll be referring to as AIIB in the next few minutes. Within days, and this loan was taken within days of China attacking our army at Galwan, which led to 20 soldiers being killed in action. The Congress also asked whether this loan, these crores of rupees, were in exchange for what they called a clean chit to China by the PM. The Congress also charged the government with lying to Rajya Sabha when MOS Home today said in a written reply that there has been no infiltration reported along the India-China border in the last 6 months. And finally, they wondered if that is the reason that ministers within the government are speaking in different voices.
19 जून तक आते आते तो हमारे 20 वीर जवान शहीद भी हो चुके थे। ये वही तारीख है 19 जून जिसको मैं काला दिन कहूंगा हमारे देश के इतिहास में, क्योंकि पहली बार एक प्रधानमंत्री ने देश के साथ झूठ बोला। ये वही तारीख है 19 जून। ना केवल चीन को 19 जून को प्रधानमंत्री ने क्लीन चिट दी, बल्कि 19 जून को चीन स्थित, बीजिंग स्थित एशियन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंक से पैसे भी लिए।
And all of this, mind you, is happening at a time when the country is walking the razor's edge at the LAC. In the last 70 days, a 45-year-old understanding, which barred the use of firearms at the India-China border, was violated not once but thrice. Thrice in 17 days. I want you to take a look at exactly what happened. On the 30th of August, at significant heights close to Blacktop, very near the LAC, China fired aerial shots, followed by Indian troops also doing the same. This happened, and remember, we'd broken that news on Times Now, when China was trying to attempt to occupy heights at the south bank of Pangong Tso. When India preempted that action, their troops fired in frustration. Just a week later, on the 7th of September, shots were again fired. This time it was at Mukpari, at the south bank of Pangong. Chinese troops fired when they were intercepted by Indian soldiers. 2 days later, the same thing happened on September 9. But this time, the action shifted to the north bank from the south bank. Instead of Mukpari, this time, it was a face-off which took place between fingers 3 and 4. Remember, in that area as well, Indian soldiers are sitting at dominating heights where they have a direct sight of the kind of build-up that China has done at Finger 4. China again opened fire. This time, India also responded. So given the situation, given its severity, given its sensitivity, who's responsible for this misinformation warfare? Is the government really keeping India in the dark, as the Congress alleges? Has the interest of soldiers really been sold out for a few crores? Or is there unfortunate propaganda war being waged from within our own country when the enemy is at the border?
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, joining me on debate number 2, we have Nupur Sharma, spokesperson of the BJP, Colonel S. Dini, former commanding officer of the Pangong Tso Battalion, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Ghanshyam Tiwari, political analyst Vivek Srivastava, and Dr. Suman C. Raman. I want to start by asking you, Nupur Sharma, why is it that a loan was taken from a China-based bank just 4 days after 20 of our soldiers were killed in action against China?
Well, you said it right. It's a China-based bank. It's not owned by China. AIIB is actually owned, as far as shareholding is concerned, by 103 countries. 25 are in the activator line. So I'm sorry, with India being the second largest shareholder, with our paid-in capital being, let me tell you, the paid-in capital is worth, India's paid-in capital is worth $1.67 billion. So what is our money? Should we let it go? $1.67 billion is what India's paid in capital in AIIB is. So जो हमारा है वो हमारा है, and there are 103 countries who ratified and are a part of AIIB. It's only headquartered in Shanghai, much like ADB is headquartered in Philippines, much like World Bank is headquartered in Washington in the US. Does it mean that these countries control the bank?
So tell me this, Ghanshyam Tiwari, why this very unfortunate misinformation war? You know, to suggest, and these were the exact words, to say that the Prime Minister took money from China in order to sell out our soldiers.
Well, first and foremost, there is an all-party meeting that has happened in the leadership of the Defence Minister, and I welcome the point made by the Defence Minister that he'll be speaking in Rajya Sabha on this matter. And as you said that this is a sensitive matter, I will not speak in the phrases that are used about the Prime Minister taking money. I think the Prime Minister of the country is as patriotic as any leader of the opposition party, and as Samajwadi Party, we have never questioned the patriotism of any Bharatiya Janata Party leader. So I'll stay a very clear line on that.
Well, thank you for saying that, but let me also remind the viewers that one of the members of Parliament of the Congress said today, आप chronology समझिए, PM बोले कि कोई सीमा में नहीं घुसा, फिर चीन स्थित बैंक से भारी कर्जा लिया, फिर रक्षा मंत्री ने कहा चीन ने देश में अतिक्रमण नहीं किया, देश में अतिक्रमण किया, अब गृह राज्य मंत्री ने कहा अतिक्रमण नहीं हुआ। मोदी सरकार भारतीय सेना के साथ है या चीन के साथ? I mean, not only is this appalling at a time like this, but this is a blatant falsehood, Sumansi Raman. It's fake. It's basically our money, which we are the second highest shareholder in a bank. We've taken that money to rehabilitate people who are affected by COVID. Sumansi Raman.
Padmaja, the issue is not about the money which has been taken. The issue is about the contradictory statements that have been made. If there is no infiltration and it's only a transgression, and that transgression...
Sir, I will come to that in just a second. First, will you commit to this entire controversy being in bad taste? Ghanshyam Tiwari has taken a stand, and I applaud him for it. Would you commit that this is an extremely tasteless thing to say, bang in between the Defence Minister actually making statements to both houses of Parliament?
One second.
And saying we want to take the opposition into confidence.
1 second. I agree entirely that this loan issue is a non-issue as far as we should be concerned, because simply speaking, it comes from an Asian infrastructure bank in which India is very much a stakeholder. So that is a non-issue. The issue is probably this is being used to divert attention from the other more important statement. The statement which said that there is no infiltration in the last 6 months.
Great.
But there may have been.
Yes, I will come to that next. But before I finish, because now I will not come back to this issue, let me also tell our viewers, because why I keep underlining this is to say that at a time like this, when we say there should be national unity, it is said that you are speaking for the government and that you are not objective. It is to remind that there are damaging statements being made from within our principal opposition party, who said that there is a chronology where China gets a clean chit just after you have a loan being taken from them. You have another member of this party saying, June 19, Modi told all party meeting there has been no intrusion at border. June 19, Modi took $750 million loan from Beijing-based AIIB. Did PM Modi sell our land for cash? Did he accept blood money for the lives of 20 soldiers? I mean, imagine for somebody to be sitting there knowing that there is some Chinese guy who can open fire at you, and you are being told by your principal opposition parties that your blood is being sold for money. Can we not have some unity at a time like this? Don't support the party. Support the government. At least don't say things which are damaging your own country. This is propaganda which we are being subjected to from within our country. I'm sorry, but I can't say anything else for this. Vivek Srivastava, is this anything short for, and I use this word very sparingly, anti-national propaganda?
I'll tell you, Padmaja, the words, yeah. Okay, fine. See, the words might have been harsh which were used by the Congress people, but the feelings are not very wrong. I mean, Nupur Sharma told
it's
us
not
right
harsh,
now
it's
that the World
fake,
Bank
sir.
is based in the United States. Does she not know that the United... Yeah, can I speak? Can I speak now? Now see, the World Bank might be based in the United States of America, but however, everybody knows it's the Americans and a few European countries which call the shots in the World Bank. It is not an unbiased, neutral kind of a bank. Similarly, this particular bank which is based in Shanghai, You took the loan, you took it for the development of the nation. It's a different issue. I am also not accusing
It's
the
our
Prime
own
Minister
money.
of any corruption.
We have
However,
given
you were in touch
money
with the Shanghai.
to this bank.
No, ma'am, that is there. World Bank is also your own money. नहीं World Bank भी ऐसे ही चलता है. सारे banks ऐसे ही चलते हैं. सबके सब में stakes होते हैं. Let's not talk about that part. But when we liberalized in 1991, the World Bank did misuse its authority and made us follow its policies. So, can I speak now? Now see, this particular bank definitely the Chinese call the shots. The Chinese do call the shots.
ADB is in
Please keep
Philippines. I'm sure Philippines is calling the shots in ADB.
Yeah. Now,
what is ADB full form? Mr. Vivek, just one question. One question, sir. Since you are so learned,
please keep
all
quiet.
the education
एक
came from
तरफ आप
China,
कारगिल लड़ते हैं,
one simple
एक तरफ
question.
आप कारगिल का युद्ध
ADB का
लड़ते
full form क्या
हैं,
है?
at the
And
same
ADB
time
is
you
in
trade with
Philippines.
Pakistan.
Because ADB
You
is
fight
headquartered in
Kargil on one
Philippines.
side
Philippines
and you trade with
owns
Pakistan
ADB
on the
and
other.
Philippines calls the
This
shots
has
in
been
ADB.
the culture of the BJP governments.
ये तो मैं
Okay, now I think
So
we're just
this
having
is
a
the
rhetorical
culture of
debate,
the BJP.
trying to
It has been
defend
done
the
in the past
indefensible.
also.
I'm at least glad that in most of our principal opposition parties,
No,
there is
sorry, ma'am.
unanimity
We had
that
the
this was a
Kargil,
completely
and while
needless
Kargil was going on,
and
you
a
were
very,
trading
very
with Pakistan.
damaging controversy that was raked up at this time. Now, question number 2, and because I want to deal with substantive issues, was raised by Sumant Raman, saying that in the last 6 months, the defense minister has said on the floor of the House yesterday that there are repeated attempts by China to take our land, and yet today Nityanand Rai on the floor of the Rajya Sabha says that there has been no infiltration in the last 6 months on our border with China. Nupur Sharma, what is one to make of this?
No, there is.
Here's the written reply.
Sumant was fair enough to actually come on record and make the demarcation, make the difference very clear between an attempted intrusion and actual intrusion. Whenever Chinese soldiers tried to intrude, हमारे 20 गए तो उनके 106 गए, या आपके चैनल में दिखाया पद्मजा. And अगर intrusion is the issue, between 2010 and 2013, China's PLA tried to intrude 600 times. It's on record. अगर ऐसे ट्रांसलेट करते 600 बार कर दिया तो दिल्ली में बैठे होते अभी PLA तो.
Which record?
Fact of the matter is,
Nothing
no, this
happened
is on
since
record.
1962.
Read up income, Mr. Srivastava.
1962 के
Sumant
बाद-
Raman, no, Sumant Raman had that question.
सबसे बड़ा
Look at the logic. No, 1 minute. Can I speak, please?
Sumant Raman, can I just complete my point?
Yeah.
Let's
किसी ने
have
खुद गिव अप नहीं
the
करा
heckler
है.
out of
आपकी
this
सरकार
debate.
की कोई
I will
फॉरेन
give
पॉलिसी
you
नहीं है.
factual-
आपकी
I will give
सरकार
you
की
Yes, let's have factual. Vivek Srivastava, let's not heckle because I genuinely think that people in the country want answers. Want answers. Just a second. So let's have a reasoned debate. Please reduce Mr. Srivastava's audio. Go on, Nupur Sharma. What's the
Thank
answer?
you. 4 days after the 29th, 30th fiasco, 4 days after that, I heard a very celebrated veteran who has served along the LAC say it on national television, and I will quote him verbatim. I've never served on the LAC. I'm only going to go by records and reports of these veterans. He said, as far as Kala Top is concerned, this is the first time India has reclaimed what was rightfully ours and we lost to China. Then we lost the war in 1962 and thereafter over 43,000 square kilometers. This is the first time Indian Jawans have around 250 square kilometers of our reclaimed territory back under our feet.
Yes, that's what the veteran says. But yes, we have dominating positions close to Blacktop. We have dominating positions close to Blacktop. That is the analysis of the veteran. But just a second, before Sumant Raman, you say this, Colonel Dini, I'm sorry, but I'll have to ask you a slightly political question because it's always curious. As a veteran yourself, when the political parties say we are also part of the country, we just want transparency. Because we want to know what is going on. There needs to be an open communication. How do you react to that?
See, ma'am, there is no doubt that in a democracy, questions will be asked. No, and that's the correct form also. Questions need to be asked, and Indian Armed Forces are not something, where questions cannot be asked. My only contention is, when there is an issue at the border, we have to be extremely careful what kind of questions are we asking. And because this is extremely sensitive. Today yesterday, I think the defense minister themselves said even if I want to, I can't reveal a lot of things on the floor of the House because there are many things that are sensitive. And I think that everybody needs to understand. Number one. Number two, one important thing which, ma'am, I would like to mention here is, you mentioned it at the start of the debate, is that this is the classical example of how an information war takes place.
We must understand that in the current era, there is an information war happening, and that is being led by our adversary across the border from China.
Yeah.
And each one of us, knowingly or unknowingly, are playing a part in it. Most of us feel that we are all educated and we all are very super intelligent. We don't become part of it. Actually, by our messaging, by our communication, by whatever, the way we think, we are becoming part of it. And that information war today is giving a narrative that China has claimed a lot of things. We are not able to do anything. India is a weak nation. Indian army cannot take a stand. It is not a question of government or parties. It is a question of the army. And that is why today the latest was they were trying to show Punjabi music and all. Why are they doing this? These all are psychological warfare. All this comes under the domain of information warfare. And that is why I again say, knowingly or unknowingly,
let's not feed into it, Ghanshyam Tiwari. Some unknowingly, but what is worse, some knowingly are feeding into that propaganda war.
Before, Sumanshi, just one point before we go to this point.
Yes.
I want to categorically say that the Asian Infrastructure Development Bank is primary economic wing of PRC, their strategy, their economic strategy. To say that India is an equal partner in that bank is factually wrong and strategically wrong what Nupur was saying. Right? India joined that bank in 2014. So clearly, by taking a loan at this point in time, it is a wrong step. I want to be very clear about that.
Sir, first of all, again, for the benefit of our viewers, let me tell you that the first installment of the loan was way before Galwan. It happened on the 8th of May. After Galwan, it was the second installment that was taken.
Chinese build-up started in April. What are you talking about?
No, it's not money.
Chinese build-up started in April.
No.
We take loans.
Where are you getting your information from? So, Padmaja, allow me to come in. I actually want to add on to what the veteran said.
Okay, so you're saying strategically it was a bad idea. Let her respond. Okay, so you've raised that point. Now you're saying it's not a non-issue. Let Nupur Sharma respond. Okay, Nupur Sharma, go on.
I don't understand strategy wherein 103 member countries have ratified, and we are the second largest shareholder with a paid-in capital, I repeat, $1.67 billion US. जो हमारा है खैरात में नहीं पता कि to actually feed off people like Vivek Srivastava or Chinese agents. But importantly, now I will come to this. You know, Maharashtra and Rajasthan have also independently taken loans from AIIB. In 2019 itself, Maharashtra took $500 million US. Rajasthan took $65 million US. Tamil Nadu in 2017 has taken $100 million. West Bengal has taken $145 million. What are you talking about? Other countries are
Ghanshyam Tiwari.
I want to add to what the veteran said.
It was the Modi government that got India into the bank. What are you talking about?
Ghanshyam, let me complete. As far as what the veteran said is concerned, I completely agree with him. The psychological warfare is the issue wherein statements made by you publicly and the likes of you, for example, what Congress has been doing time and again, has been used by Global Times. They are using the Congress shoulders to shoot India. Is that fair? Are you with India or against India? And jo hamara paisa hai, wo hai.
Okay. Sumansi Raman has a question. Sumansi Raman, what's your question?
Yeah, I have only one question for Nupur, and would she be kind enough to answer this?
Yes,
at the foreign ministers meeting a few days ago, it was reported that our foreign minister told his Chinese counterpart that India seeks restoration of status quo ante as it was in April 2020. Now, this is directly sort of contradicting with the Home Ministry's statement today. If there has been no infiltration or if there has been a transgression and which has been fought off, then why are we asking for restoration of status quo ante? The problem is not...
Okay, answer Nupur Sharma, because I genuinely want an answer and I'm short of time.
About a lot of things, Mr. Sumansi Raman. You cannot actually just go on making a statement without knowing the nitty-gritties of it. The status quo can also be about the now changed agreement which was signed by the Congress party when they were in power, that within 2 kilometers of the LAC we are not going to use armaments. Which China is the first country, the PLA, to cease fire. We have a right to respond. We have done away with that agreement and we are responding.
Okay, but I really want to end with a more expert view. So because I'm short of time, I want to get in, Colonel Nini, to ask you this. As a citizen, we look at these firing incidents and we think 45 years later, 3 incidents within 17 days. What is your assessment, Colonel Nini?
My assessment is very clear that Indian Army is giving it back to the Chinese in the way they understand. And today somebody was asking me that why this many number of rounds? Because both sides fired. If the Chinese have opened fire, the Indians also have opened fire. If they are now, like the question which I think the gentleman asked is why that restoration of status quo in April 2020. The restoration of status quo is, number one, the quantum of troops which they have moved towards the LAC is phenomenal. So that has to go back as was in April 2020. Second, they have illegally come into the disputed area between Finger 4 and Finger 8. They have to go back. Then probably we will then think over of vacating our area from where we are now preoccupied. We have come in a preemptive move. So we have also changed status quo. There's no doubt. So that is the change which has happened, and it is today when and I'm speaking with conviction that the troops there on ground, they are absolutely clear that if there is any kind of provocation, the thing will be returned in kind. That is the way we do it.
And I think we'd be really grateful as a country if that conviction is communicated to our entire country as well. At the risk again of sounding repetitive, let's show unity, if only for a few days, and let's try and have as much dissemination of information as well. Tomorrow, the Defence Minister will speak in the Rajya Sabha. We'll be keeping a close eye. For the time being, thank you very much, all gentlemen, Nupur Sharma, for joining me.